Alrighty, this is called Let's Go Somewhere. The place you're at is in Fredericksburg, Virginia. That's the Popeyes. Yeah, baby. You know that's good. And we're going out on Route 3 here. And of course, here comes 985,424 cars. Because that's what we have here. Is an entire world full of cars. And I'll spend 10 minutes of this video waiting to get out in the traffic. Great. Fantabulous. Wait a minute. I gotta open. Well, I thought I did. Oh well. I am not wrecking my car. I ain't getting in no hurry no more. My hurries is over. My hurries has been gone. So this is Route 3 heading through Fredericksburg. Hey, cutie. I don't know how this is gonna work. I got the camera on the tripod and the passenger seat footwell with the seat belt just wrapped around it as kind of a brace. So, but this is the lovely town of Fredericksburg. Looks like every other town in the world. The historical district of Fredericksburg is kind of neat, but to really see it anymore, you got to get out of your car and you got to walk through the town. And you got to know, really, you need to do that. You need to get a map and see where the historical places are, because the building has just exploded around there. So, anyway. This is 3 heading across 95 into Fredericksburg. And my God, you do not want to be here at 4:30 in the afternoon. Or at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. Because all there is here is parked cars. It is a madhouse. So anyway, went and paid my cable bill, so I'm just thinking about what I want to do. Thought I'd bring you along for a mile or two. I'm going to call this video a video of stoplights. Oh my God, I'm glad I didn't go out. Oh, I wish I could turn the camera, but I can't. 95 is a parking lot going north. I think I'm gonna try it. I think I'm gonna turn it. 95 is a parking lot. It's a parking lot. So I don't know if I got this thing aimed right now anymore. Great. Hopefully I got it. It looks okay, I guess. I guess I'll know when I see the video. Alright, there we go. This is Central Park Mall, and on the other side here on the left-hand side is Spotsylvania Mall. This is a whole stretch of malls and theaters and all kinds of crap. Good, I get to look at this visor and see if I got this thing aimed right. Ugh. This don't look too bad. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do today. It's a beautiful day. I do know I want to get out the house. Like I said, get out the house, but not necessarily get out the house and ride around in the car for the rest of the day. I should have got out on my bike, but you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Anyway. But that's the one thing. If you ever move to the Fredericksburg area, this is what you got. I mean, anything in the Washington, D.C. area, the traffic is absolutely destroyed. It really is. I mean, there's no other two ways of putting it. the traffic here is horrendous. And the closer you live to your job around here, the better. Because in this area, traffic is just a disaster. It's a disaster. So, anyway, this building, all this building here, all this highway and building, you know, it's wonderful for convenience, you know, and it gives people a lot of jobs. And that's the thing I like the most about it, is that these are jobs that people don't have to drive to, you know, but unfortunately, a lot of them are low-paying jobs. We do have some big companies like Geico up on Route 17, and we have some other big companies around here that provide a lot of jobs for Fredericksburg people, and we appreciate that. I just wish that they would push more for getting major companies in here, you know, because we got to stop driving to where we got to work. I mean, I drove for 20 years. I drove 120 miles a day. It was at least 4 hours out of my life every day, at least. And that job is actually sort of calling my name again, and I'm not looking forward to driving that road. I don't see, you know, you got to look at it like this, okay? If you're making, say you're making $15 an hour at a job. If you're driving, now you got to understand that $15 an hour, you're only going to get $10 of that. And that's the money that's in your pocket. That's the money you're going to be paying for gasoline with. So if you're driving a car and you're putting gas in it, your entire first 2 hours was spent just getting there. So you only made 6 hours of pay. So, and not only that though, the biggest thing about commuting to work is the cost of the time you spend with the people you love. And that's really a cost that never goes away. Especially if you have children. And if you have a wife that you love and children, I mean, I really do not recommend anybody commute to work, period. I mean, try to keep that drive as short as possible. This is 3, we're heading out towards the undeveloped country, the undiscovered country. I'm going to let this thing run until it runs out, I think. The title of this video is, Let's Just Go Somewhere. That's what it is. Let's just go somewhere. Like I said, I just paid my cable bill, which thankfully, once I got rid of my television, was $100 less a month. I mean, and now get this is what made me so angry, was that $100 didn't even include any premium channels. I was like, well, you can get this and you could pay for HBO, or you could pay for Showtime, and you could pay for, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, dude. I'm not paying $500 a month for my freaking television. So I got, I have internet, and I have, you know, high-speed internet, and I have a landline phone through them. And the reason I keep the landline phone is because I've had that number for about 30 years. And it's just my number, and I like it. But yeah, now we're getting into the more open spots here, with speeds are starting to come up. And it opens up a little bit here, and we get into the really kind of, I like it because it's pretty. It's when you go down 3, you start running into farmland, and once you start running into farmland, you run into beautiful stuff. And I'll let this person in. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's nice. That's always nice. You know, you get the person with the turn signal, and you wait for him, and then the guy in the pickup truck with no turn signal just cuts him off. That's nice. We got another guy here who's going to want to get over here in a minute. And that's okay. I don't care. I'm done with this. I'm done with the fighting for the road space crap. I'm not doing that no more. I mean, I didn't do that when I was young. I've been kind of a guy that if you want to get in, hey man, get in. If you want to get in front of me, hey man, get in front of me. But don't get in front of me when I'm doing 70 and then do 60. If you had a burr up your ass so far that you couldn't see straight, that you had to get in front of me, keep your damn speed up. So I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna be running my mouth, my MOUF, all the time we're going down this road. But as you can see, this is a nice place to live. The people here are nice. We have a cross section of the world in Fredericksburg. We have every ethnicity you can imagine here. We have a large Muslim contingent, and every Muslim person that I've had an interaction with has been an honorable person. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. We have a large Christian contingent here, and most of them have been equally as honorable. And we have Buddhists, we just have everybody down here. And everybody just trying to do the same thing, feed their family, make a living, pray to their God the way they want to pray to their God. And now we're getting into the farmland. Unfortunately, I picked the most wonderful time to come out here because everything looks like total crap. Whee! Look at the farmland. Looks like freaking fallow fields. Here's battlefields, Civil War battlefields. At the end of the Civil War, this area was real busy. I mean, the Confederates were retreating, and the Union Army was chasing them, and chased them down to Appomattox, and there was some really awful, really vicious battling down here. A lot of Americans dying. But that's what made us what we are today, We were the nation that fought back against slavery. We were the nation who abolished slavery. So, that's something to be proud of. That's when you say American, that's what you say. You don't say, oh, they were slavery. You say, no, wait a minute, hold on, boss. We were the nation that abolished slavery, So, that's one of the things you could be proud of when you say the word American. And you can also be proud of the fact that when you say American, that those Americans who went into the military and into the armed forces, I guess I should say, and fought for you and died for you so that you could have the right to be an American. You need to be proud of them too. Always be proud of them. They don't make up what the politicians do. They have a sense of duty to their fellow American and to their family, and they displace themselves and train themselves, and they go to places that are hellholes, and they fight there against the evil that's there. So I mean, be proud of them. Same thing goes for every police officer. Now I know that the first thing that pops up when you say police officer today is they find the very worst human being that they can find who've acted the worst way possible on camera, and they say that's all police officers. Well, it don't work like that. Now, there are 3 million interactions every day between police officers who are Americans with families and other Americans who are, for some reason, gain the attention of the police officer, whether they were in distress or breaking the law or whatever it is. There are 3 million interactions every day, and none of those goes bad. But if you get one that goes bad and it's on camera, suddenly every police officer is that guy or that person. So that's not fair. You all know that's not fair. And a police officer's not a robot from the Matrix that works for the machine. And a police officer is somebody who, by and large, if they saw there was a need to enforce the law, they volunteered to do that. And of course, there's some police officers that love the fast car, and they love the lights, and they love the power. But you know what? You can be a police officer who loves the lights and loves the car and loves the power, and you could be an asshole and still be a great police officer. You know what? I'd be an asshole if I was a police officer, because after dealing with you crazy bastards 59,000 times in a couple of years, every time I had to listen to a line of crap, my brain would just shut off. Yeah, so that's why I'm not a police officer. But I get it. Every time I've ever been pulled over, I was guilty. You know? And I'll tell you a story about me getting pulled over for reckless driving about, oh my God, it's been probably 8 years. 8-9 years. But I was in a hurry. I was going to work. We had a meeting that day, and I was speeding, and I went through traffic, and there's this place on 66 where traffic's always backed up, and I thought I was real slick, so I moved over to the left-hand lane, and I got going pretty fast, and I cut on in where there was a hole, and as soon as I did, here came the Virginia State Trooper. And I was guilty. I was guilty as shit. There was nothing I could say about it. I didn't give the cop any crap. But I did make a huge mistake. And it was because I was trying to be nice. I had my lunchbox on my seat. And I pulled over immediately as soon as he got behind me. I put my license on the lunchbox, took it out of my wallet, I put it on the lunchbox, and then I turned my body to the side and I put my arm around the seat like he was coming to the window, like I was going to face him when he got to the window. Well, at that time, unfortunately, in America, police officers had been getting shot a lot. This is back during the last part of the Obama thing, so it's been a long time. But anyway, the cop came up to the back of the car, the back rear quarter panel. He saw the way I was sitting, like I was facing the window, and he saw my arm across the seat rest, but he didn't see my hand. He did not see what was in my hand. So he assumed right away that I had a gun pointing at the window. And that I was going to shoot him when he came up to the window. And I didn't even think anything about this when I turned at the window. And he went into a classic. And it was a beautiful thing to see. It was terrifying. But it was beautiful to see because that Virginia State Trooper did a wonderful felony stop. And it scared the living piss out of me. He pulled his gun out, put it by his side. He crouched at the back of the car. And what he did was, as soon as he looked through the rear window and he saw my hand, he used my car's metal parts as cover. So he disappeared behind the rear quarter panel steel part, between the rear window and the side window. He crouched down below the level of the window. He came up and by the it was a 4-door car, so there was a center pillar. He came up by the center pillar. He looked in the window at the top of my lunchbox where my hand was, what I was doing, and I had froze. At this point, I realized when he pulled the gun out and I realized that I had done something that was really stupid, and that he had assumed something that I had caused him to assume something that he had to assume. So I froze. I was terrified because I was like, wow, man, I'm just reckless driving. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. But then it dawned on me later, and it